Hey everybody, Isaac Colton, and welcome to another live episode of Sales and Marketing Secrets. Where in today's live episode, I'm going to be going over some of the secrets, so to speak, to lead generation. This is going to be a long freaking series because lead generation is such a big topic, and it's one of the biggest problems I think that a lot of realtors, small business owners have when it comes to scaling their business is understanding the lead generation landscape. If this has been a struggle for you, where you've made some mistakes when it comes to lead generation, or you're trying to figure out what your lead generation strategy is in 2023 and 2024 with all of the different options out there, leave me a comment in the chat. Just say yes in the chat if this is something that has been a struggle for you to figure out when it comes to lead generation, and what your struggles are. I want to hear from you because when I go live, I'm going to take your feedback in this comment section that you leave, and I'm going to incorporate that into my future trainings that I do on lead generation. I'm probably going to stay on this topic of lead generation in some way, shape, or form for probably 4 to 6 months because there's a lot of it's a very wide topic and can go very deep. There's literally there's 7 segments or 7 big segments or core strategies to generate leads, but then there's a whole lot of tactical things or tactical ways within those segments or those strategies. So literally there's 100 different ways to kind of slay this monster, so to speak, called lead generation. And here's the thing: the brutal truth and the brutal reality is that if we don't get our lead generation right in our business, whether you're a real estate loan officer, whoever you are, it doesn't matter what your sales goal is. If you don't have enough leads coming in to match your sales goal, it's kind of like putting a blindfold on, spinning around 3 times and praying and hoping you're going to hit your target. The odds of you hitting your sales goal are virtually zero. And so I can predict whether somebody's going to hit their sales goal based on looking at what they're doing with their lead generation on a daily basis. You can tell, you can almost predict it. So, and that's a mistake that I see happen all the time. One of the mistakes that I made early on when it came to lead generation. And so you may be asking yourself, well, what gives you the authority to talk about lead generation? Why are you so passionate about lead generation? Well, I've been doing lead generation for 20 years, folks. Starting off when I was 19 years old, I started generating leads for a financial services agency where I had an independent agent in financial services, and he had me doing lead generation for him. And so I took a cold list, and it was my job to warm that list up through a series of strategies, one of them being cold calling, and get them to the point where they're warm and they're willing to meet with them. And I did that back almost 20 years ago, and I got really good at persuasion and got really good at that form of lead generation. And the whole psychology of lead generation really caught my interest, and I got super excited about it. And then I kind of used those skill sets to run my own direct selling company. So when I was in college, I was a phys ed major. I decided not to do that anymore. And so kind of transitioning from college to figuring out what I want to do, I got involved in a network marketing company, and I had to generate my own leads. And so it was referrals, and then past referrals, I had to figure it out. So I generated my own leads, and I had to generate leads to actually recruit people too. So I got really good at lead generation and recruiting and building a team. I ended up top 10% in that company, and then I went on to help a small business owner build a digital marketing company for home services industries. And I ended up being part of developing a lead generation machine for over 100 different service-based businesses. And I saw current trends. I saw what was working, what was not working. But then, fast forward, I actually started using those skills to for my own business. So I got involved in real estate first on the investor side. I wanted to do distressed property, and so I started doing yellow letters. And actually, I have the yellow letters. I think I might have a copy of one here. Let me see here. If I can find it. No, I'll have to dig through and find it. But the first lead generation campaign I did in real estate was actually yellow letter, and it looked like a handwritten letter. And I gave it to a printer, and I sent it out to people that were distressed. And it was pretty cool because it was like one of those. It was a really niche campaign. And I got like hundreds of phone calls off this yellow letter of people that were interested in taking an offer on their home. And that was like my first ever cash offer campaign that I did. And it was just absolutely phenomenal. It just was great. And so I got really good there. And then I took those skills into residential real estate. I partnered up with two guys that wanted to build a brokerage together. I was the majority owner of the brokerage. There was a broker record and a listing agent, a buyer's agent. That was kind of our team starting off. And we did all things lead generation. We tried everything, and it was a hot mess. And I didn't realize that there was a specific roadmap. And this is what I want you to take away from this live training is there's a very specific roadmap to lead generation that you have to follow depending on what stage you're at in your business. And this is the biggest mistake that I see people making is they're doing things based on that are not part of their core competency and also that are too far ahead of their roadmap because of the resources they have to actually pull it off. And so I'm going to go over that with you today. And that's going to be what today's live stream is all about, is making sure that you have a great lead generation roadmap. You can understand the different types of lead generation and pick what ones are right for you and master those. And here's the rule of thumb, okay? Rule of thumb is that if you have good follow-up, then if you double your leads, you double your sales. I'm going to say that again. Rule of thumb is that if you have good follow-up and you develop good follow-up systems, if you double your leads, you will double your sales. Now, if you don't have good follow-up and you don't have good persuasion skills, that's not necessarily the case. But rule of thumb is that if you're doing your lead follow-up the right way, if you double your leads, you will double your sales. And so you have to figure this out. It's super important when it comes to lead generation. So what is the roadmap? What does the landscape look like? And I'm going to break that down. I'm going to first start off in segments. I'm going to share 7 ways to generate leads. Then I'm going to show you how to figure out what lead generation strategies are best for you. And then I'm going to give you a step-by-step process on how to make sure those leads get turned into booked appointments and closed deals. And by the way, if you're a team leader, it's the same strategies for agent attraction. People don't kind of are disconnected on this. And this is what I realized as I was building our team. It's the same strategies, different niche marketing, different messaging, but same strategies that you use as you're attracting agents to your team. It needs to be part of your marketing plan. And I'm very confident what I'm going to share with you works no matter what industry you're in. So if you're watching me and you're not in real estate and you're a loan officer or you're in another industry, I've used these strategies I'm teaching with you in real estate, with mortgage, insurance, marketing companies, consulting companies, recruiting companies, SaaS companies. And how do I know they work? Well, because Isaac Colton and Company /REN, which is our holding company, we own several companies. We literally own 5 companies that were using all of these lead strategies in real time. So I'm sharing real-time strategies with you, starting off because most of my audience is real estate agents, but literally I'm going to share strategies and how these are working in multiple industries. Okay. So I'm excited to kind of dive into that. Here's the big question that you have to ask yourself. Okay. The big question is this: is how do I generate more leads for less cost? How do I generate more leads for less cost and generate as many as possible? Okay, that's the question. And so I'm going to go over that and kind of dive into those here in today's training and really kind of take a deep dive into the different 7 ways to generate leads. Okay, so I'm going to go really, really quick, but I want you to know they're already posted here. All right, and we're going to kind of map them out together on this slide. We'll actually build it together. The 7 ways to generate leads. Okay, so the first way to generate leads is what I call 1-to-1 warm outreach, or 1-to-many. So the 7 ways to generate leads. The first one it should be the foundation of everything you do, especially if you're brand new, is you should be getting a list of people together that are in your sphere of influence, people that know you, like you, and trust you. What better way to start? And what you want to do is put them into a database and develop a marketing campaign around them where you can reach out to them one-to-one, but also you can keep in touch with them through like a weekly video or a weekly newsletter. So you can stay in touch with your sphere. And this should be the very first core thing that you ever do is get your CRM set up, get your database set up, and get your warm market organized and segmented, and then start building your lead generation process on top of that, because this is one of the most cost-effective strategies on the planet. And you'd be shocked, literally 8 out of 10 realtors that I work with are not doing this. They're independent. Now, some of them are on a team, so they can't, right? But like, and here's the thing, 7 out of 10 small business owners are not doing this. I mean, like their database is jacked up. They're not doing one-to-one warm marketing or one-to-many warm marketing strategies. And it blows my mind. And so that's the first one. The next one is organic. And that's like, so that's like social. It's like social posting, blogging. And I took this one for granted, just to be straight up with you, for a long time. But I've realized more than ever that brand authority is one of the most powerful lead generation, lead conversion strategies on the planet. See, brand authority doesn't help you just generate new leads. It also helps you convert more leads from the leads that you have coming in as they're exploring who you are on social media, as they're getting to know you on social media, which we're going to dive into that. The next one, so if you're brand new, okay, in real estate, or maybe you've been in the business a while and you're not getting the results you want, or you're whatever small business you're part of, if you're not doing this, okay, there's a problem. Okay, this is the foundation of every lead generation strategies, these two things in today's world. Then from there, you have paid traffic, and that could be Google Ads, Facebook, you paying a third party to generate leads. Okay, then you have cold outreach, and this can be one-to-one or one-to-many. Then you have building an inside and outside sales team. And then you have referral marketing. And then you have vendor partnerships. And if you really think through this, what else is there, right? Now, there's a whole lot of ways to do all of these different things and to execute on these different things. But the key is, and this is the biggest mistake that I see, which I want to leave everybody with today, is you're not mastering one or two of them before, and you're trying to do all of them at one time. And so what the key is to focus on, figure out what ones you're going to focus on and what ones you're going to master. And so if you're brand new, cost-effective lead sources is this here, then you probably should move into this. Now, maybe you have a skill set like I did. See, my skill set was cold outreach. So I got really good at getting people that didn't know me to know me, like me, and trust me. And I literally became a multimillionaire off of cold outreach. So, and it's not just by phone. It could be Facebook Messenger cold outreach. There's a whole lot of different ways to do cold outreach. But my point is they all have their place in the cycle and what I call a flywheel. I'm going to teach you more about a flywheel in a different day, but they all have their place. And so for today's live segment, before I get into, and take a deeper dive into each one of these, okay, I want you to ask yourself, on a scale of 1 to 10, how well are you doing with each one of these? And develop a roadmap and map out what ones you should attack, what ones you should win, that you want to focus on winning at first. And I'm going to teach you and share with you all the inside secrets, every detail that you need to know in these live sessions on how to master each one. We're going to methodically go down through each one so you can get valuable content. I'm going to try to go live right around 11:30 Eastern Standard Time most days. If not, you can just see the recording. And if you find this valuable, I'd ask that you share this with other people. And then also, if you want to get first insider access to my book, I don't have an official title, but it's going to be revolving around creating the ultimate lead generation machine. And you want access to that book, then what you're going to want to do is go to isaaccolton.com and sign up to my newsletter. And last but not least, I'll leave you with this. If you are in a position where you got to get your lead generation right, okay, there's nothing else you should be focused on. Because assuming you have good lead follow-up, if you double your lead, you double your sales. Double your leads, double your sales. So hope you found this segment helpful. Isaac Colton, another live episode of Sales and Marketing Secrets. And if you go to my website, you can hear the podcast on this and a whole bunch of other good stuff that I'm talking about, all by going to my website. You guys have been awesome. Hope you've enjoyed this live session, and I'll see you